So in today's video, we're going to take a look at the new Fire HD10 Plus. Really, there's only a few differences in the Plus version versus the regular Fire HD10. And that's going to be you get 4 gigabytes of RAM on this one versus 3 gigabytes of RAM on the regular Fire HD10. You're also going to get wireless charging on this one. And there is an official wireless charging dock for this from Amazon. And the tablet switches over to show mode once you have this in the charging dock. You're also going to get a soft touch material on this one instead of just the regular plastic on the back. But everything else is pretty much identical. You get a 10.1 inch full HD 1080p display, 32 gigabytes or 64 gigabytes of internal storage. Again, I have no idea why they're offering 32 gigabytes. In my opinion, it should be 64 minimum. It also takes a micro SD card up to 1 terabyte. And this one is identical in weight as the regular version at 1.03 pounds. And that display is 10% brighter than the previous version as well. And you're also going to get Dolby Atmos. So definitely a lot of good stuff with this. They're saying this is the most powerful Fire HD10 tablet yet. So the cost of this one is an extra $30 over the regular Fire HD10 at $180 for the 32 gigabyte version. Or you can go up to 64 gigabytes at $220. Now, as far as I know, this is only offered in one color, which is pretty much like a dark gray or black, where with the regular Fire HD10, you get 4 different colors. So let's go ahead and open it up and see what we've got. So you're going to get a quick start guide and tips and tricks for someone who's just getting their first Fire HD tablet. Decent length on the USB-C charging cable. And it looks like the same 9-watt charger as the regular Fire HD10. Okay, so now I see what they're talking about as far as the soft touch material on the back. Not bad as far as the material. I don't know if I like this as much as the olive green color though, that you get with the regular Fire HD10. Here on the right hand side, you've got your power and volume buttons, USB-C charging port. Looks like the same rear facing camera up in the corner as the regular HD10. There's where your micro SD card goes. And then you get the speakers there along the top or the left hand side, depending on how you hold the tablet. You're going to get the same welcome video, pretty much the same as on every other Fire HD tablet.
TV shows, over 2 million songs, and even select books, comics, and magazines that you can borrow at no additional cost. And with For You, a page of curated content personalized to your tastes, it's easy to discover new things. Enjoy your new Fire tablet.
You can also restrict what you see on here by making it kid-friendly when setting up. And as far as the screen lock goes, you get PIN or password. You're also going to get Goodreads, which is a free service from Amazon. To start off with, they're going to recommend some books and movies to add to your watch list. You can also pick some apps to install. And then of course you probably already know about Alexa. You can choose to enable that now or do it later. As you can see here, this tablet is pretty much identical to the regular Fire HD10. You're also going to get the same notification shade with most of your basic stuff like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, airplane mode, blue shade, auto rotate, do not disturb, low power mode, camera, and storage. And it looks like I've got about 19 gigabytes available of the 32 gigabyte storage. Over to the left is going to be For You, where they just suggest a lot of different content that Amazon thinks you're going to be interested in. And then all of your apps are going to be on the home screen. Not too many pre-installed apps, so that's nice to see. And then when you go to your library, you're going to see all of your books, apps, games, videos to watch. Overall, I think it's a pretty nice, simple layout. Definitely a little more condensed than the previous version. One thing I'm sure most of you already know is you have to use the Amazon App Store instead of Google Play. Good thing is a lot of the most popular apps are on here. You're just gonna miss out on some things that I personally use pretty much on a daily basis. One being YouTube, but at least you can download shortcuts to the web version. Nice thing is you got split screen on here now. If you go to your recent apps, you just click right on the app icon and choose split screen, and it just makes it really convenient for using 2 apps at once. And since this is the exact same size as the regular Fire HD10, you can even use the Fenty keyboard case. It's detachable and it just snaps right into place. And you can see you've got all the ports exposed pretty much on all sides, so it's easy to access. Your USB-C charging port and your on and off switch is just right there on the right hand side. And then you can just go into your Bluetooth settings and connect it like you would any other Bluetooth device. And then once you connect a Bluetooth mouse, you're pretty much ready to go. If you're going to be using apps from Microsoft or just typing a lot, it's definitely worth having this, especially for the price. Plus with this keyboard, you can control the volume, screen brightness, and switch between apps. A lot of these things are going to make it feel a little bit closer to a laptop. Now let me give you a quick sound test just so you can see what the speakers sound like. So let's go ahead and open these up and see what we've got. Removable mic, that's always nice to see. Looks like you've got a really nice flat audio cable here. Volume slider here on the cable as well. As you can see, it's an all metal band going across the top. Then underneath is a mesh fabric and leatherette material. And each ear cup sort of pops in and out of these slots. Okay, so yeah, the speakers sound identical to the regular Fire HD10. Not really the greatest in my opinion, especially at full volume. They just feel a little bit like muffled or maybe even slightly distorted. But the good thing is you got a headphone jack on here, which is probably what I would use most of the time anyways. So you're gonna get basically the same cameras as the regular Fire HD10. I feel like the shutter speed is plenty fast enough as long as you're in decent lighting, but unfortunately it just doesn't have the resolution to get halfway decent photos. And you'll really notice this when you're zooming in. You only get a 5 megapixel rear facing camera and a 1.9 megapixel front facing camera. I don't know about you, but that does not sound like specs from 2021. And then for video, you get 1080p resolution on the rear facing camera, only 720p though on the front facing. Now I'll show you a few samples of photos and video just to give you an idea of what to expect. But after already using the regular Fire HD10, trust me, you're not gonna wanna expect too much out of this tablet when it comes to cameras. I ran a Geekbench test on this just to see how it compares to the regular Fire HD10. And I gotta tell you, it's basically identical. And yeah, that 1 gigabyte extra of RAM didn't really help much in Geekbench testing. In my opinion, I think it's only gonna help if you do a lot of multitasking or some apps that just require a lot of extra memory. Nice thing is, gameplay on this tablet is actually pretty smooth overall. It didn't seem like there were any glitches or issues with graphics loading or anything like that. I mean, it does get a little bit warm after gaming for a while, but overall I feel like the gaming on this is actually pretty decent, especially if you think about how cheap this tablet is. Obviously, you're not going to get all the games that you can get on the Google Play Store, but at least they do have some of the most popular ones. You're also not going to be able to play Fortnite on here, but at least they have PUBG Mobile. and that's a better game in my opinion. Now, should you buy this new Fire HD10 Plus? For me, it's a really tough one because unless wireless charging is really important to you, and buying their charging dock where this changes over into show mode, I feel like you're gonna get the same experience and pretty much the same performance on the regular Fire HD10, but the good thing is this version is still pretty affordable. And as long as you don't care about this having the Google Play Store right out of the box, I feel like you can't go wrong with this tablet or the regular Fire HD10, especially for watching movies, playing some games, just doing most of the basic stuff you would do on a tablet. I feel like the screen on this one looks really nice. And it's gonna be hard to beat a tablet like this. I haven't tested this one long enough to see what the battery life is, but I can tell already that, yeah, this is gonna be one of the best tablets as far as battery life goes. And not only that, it seems to keep its charge pretty good when in standby mode as well. Just keep in mind though, 32 gigabytes is gonna fill up really fast.
So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.